Hey guys, welcome back. So we are going to talk about today and update you guys on the babies. So Miss Gypsy, after her first steroid pill yesterday, she was already extra hyper and energetic after maybe about an hour, and yeah, she's doing perfectly fine on her treatment. When it comes to this Miss thing back here, yes, you, Clea, I'm about to ground her. I'm not sure how to ground a cattle dog, but she's gonna be grounded. She keeps grabbing Gypsy's foot and licking off the topical treatment, and I never thought I would need an e-collar potentially for the dog that doesn't have the injury. Now, when it comes to the boy, I would say we are 90% back to normal. This is one of the many interesting things that has happened so far today. So he's definitely showing signs of improvement, and he is definitely back to being a little turd muffin a little bit and a little bit of energy burst. Yesterday and most of the evening was very upsetting for me. Like you know, if my dog skips like one meal, it's like whatever. If they skip a meal and a treat, it's like I'm paying attention. If they skip 2 meals and a treats, that's like in my head, it's like it's an emergency. And this boy he just wasn't eating anything. Anything we tried offering him, he just refused to eat anything. So I decided to go to the store, and you know, even though the vet gave us, you know, the Hills, you know, food, he wasn't attempting to eat it. So I went to the store and I purchased I'm gonna butcher the name. Is it Weruva? Weruva. Can you see? It's not gonna focus. How do I focus this camera? Freaking YouTuber that don't know how to work her stuff. What? Yeah, you love this stuff, don't you? This is their paw licking chicken. It's basically chicken in a can. And years ago, a woman that I met who worked in dog rescue suggested this, said that no matter what, any dog will start eating with this stuff. And over the years, I found that to be true. You know, usually dogs, if they have upset stomachs, you offer them, you know, boiled chicken and rice, like plain boiled chicken and rice. You can do plain pumpkin, even cottage cheese, you know, anything to try to get their appetite back. You know, basically bland, plain foods to try to get them eating again. There's been a couple incidents over the years where my dogs have actually refused plain boiled chicken, like they're feeling that unwell. And I don't know why, but this stuff, even though it's basically plain chicken in a can, I'm sure it's got some other crap in it that's, yeah, like potato starch. This, for some reason, is like my go-to, and it never fails me. I always am able to get them to start at least eating with this. My only complaint with this is that it is expensive. Like, it is up to now $4 something a can. It's almost $5 a can. It used to be like 2 something and then 3 something, and now it's definitely basically $5 a can. But even just buying 1 can to try to encourage the dog to eat, I will always recommend this just to help. I'm sure a vet would disagree with me, maybe, or somebody would, but it's what I go to when other options aren't working at first. But when I came home yesterday with this stuff, he was already kind of perked up a little bit, but my husband told me that he had apparently snuggled up with him on the couch and let out 2 really big farts. And all I kept thinking is that really all we needed to do was wait for you to fart to feel better? But I'm sure that relieved some of the gas pressure in there. So, you know, after he tooted, he actually took a couple of bites of this finally. So I was very happy to see him finally eat. He still wasn't up to eating very much until about 1 o'clock in the morning, because of course mommy wants to go to bed, so we got a bugger at 1 o'clock in the morning. But he was standing by our food containers, and so I opened it up just to see if he wanted some kibble, and he did eat a couple pieces. He usually goes more crazy over the bins, like he'll shove half his body in there and just go nuts. So I could definitely tell he still wasn't feeling good, even though he was trying to eat a little bit of the kibble. So I decided to try the Hills again with him. Like, Hills food is not my favorite thing. I'm more on the I don't like it side than I love it side, but I know it does work for a lot of people. And I didn't want to keep giving him just the chicken stuff I bought, so I started off hand feeding him a little bit of the Weruva, whatever this is called, chicken, and then I started switching it over to the Hills, and he started just going nuts eating it. So I was just very happy he was eating something. And the girls saw how much he was enjoying it too, so of course they had to join in. You know, you can't leave out the rest of the crew, even if they don't need to be eating that stuff. But Out of all the years I've had pets, and I've never had much success with Hill's food. I'm pretty shocked that Sully ate it as well as he did, but initially he just wouldn't try it. So I'm glad I still went and got the chicken stuff just so he could get back into the swing of things, so to speak. But I was very shocked that the girls were eating it too. I think they were just eating it because they saw him eating it. I would say it's a nice midnight snack, but it was technically a nice 1 a.m. snack. But after he ate, we all went to bed, and thankfully he slept through the night, because the first night he was miserable, just tossing and turning with, like, you know, his belly aching and stuff. He's still not drinking water like he should. There was a bunch of diarrhea, like, coming out of him this morning, and I blame the Hills, but because it's not stuff we eat here. But I would rather it you know, exit his system than cause him any more stomach issues. And even though he had like a ton of like little bursts of energy throughout this morning and afternoon, like he still goes into like almost, I wouldn't say lethargic, you know, but you know, the sleepy stage, you know, listless stage. And that could be from the medication, it could be from the food. I mean, that's a lot of stuff going on in his system still right now. That's how this happened today. He got a burst of energy, he ran around with the chucket, and then looked like he was gonna get sick, and then came inside and just started picking up whatever he could, and he just ripped that right off. And yeah, this happened within like seconds of me turning away. And it's stuff like this that made me think that this was the cause of his issues, because he chewed off a cord to the vacuum cleaner, which I still have to get fixed. And I thought he might have swallowed pieces of that. Or maybe he had some squeakers hidden somewhere that he decided to swallow again. But thankfully there's no blockages. But I want to talk about what we think might have caused this. So all his symptoms are very similar to pancreatitis in dogs. You know, there's acute pancreatitis and chronic pancreatitis. But a lot of his symptoms were like that. I'm still questioning why we didn't do blood work to like rule out that. And pancreatitis can be caused from, you know, toxins. It can be caused from, you know, a fatty diet. It can even be just genetically, the dog can get it just from rare genetic weird stuff. So there's a few reasons why dogs can get pancreatitis. Now the vet did mention if he didn't show improvement that we would start testing for that today, but since he's improving, we're not testing anything. I did call them asking about, you know, should we still test for it? You know, diarrhea, I'm still waiting for the phone call back, but I'm definitely blaming my yard or just Ohio, because the part of Ohio we live in is like, has got a lot of pollen. Well, that would be for Gypsy's issues. Gypsy, her allergy issues are well explained to me because of where we live. But our yard, like we have pokeweed growing everywhere all of a sudden, and pokeweed is toxic to us and to, you know, dogs if they ingest it. And I think there's even like poison on the leaves that can get on us too, if I remember correctly. I've got Virginia creeper growing everywhere. I've got poison ivy growing everywhere. I've got some other plants I've never seen before popping up. And I have a ton of possums and groundhogs that leave us little treats. And there's an army of stray cats that leave plenty of treats in my yard too. So he could have ingested about anything out there and gotten sick. So he's definitely doing better. I'm going to keep an eye on him the next few days to watch for any more diarrhea and just make sure he's continuing to improve. And I really appreciate all the, you know, prayers, good vibes, everything everybody sends. I'm not one of those people that are going to be mad for somebody saying they're praying for me or giving me blessings. I will take them all. So I really appreciate that and all the love and support and worry over the boy, because I was a mess. Like the last 2 days have been like, I'm still worried. I still have that like mommy worry thing because he's not totally there yet, but the improvement is always a good thing. I mean, all I kept thinking is I can't lose my boy. Like I can't, because this stuff can happen so quickly. Like I even had a cat that like went from 1 minute to healthy and then a week later was gone. So it's like this stuff is like so like, it's just scary. But he's doing better and that's all that's important. And we just gotta try to monitor the burst of energy that's happening so he doesn't overdo it, because I can tell he's trying to overdo it, and he needs to try to just relax for a couple more days and then we can go back to crazy cattle dog, like full-on crazy cattle dog. My husband's gonna be fired too because of also what he did today. I was getting dressed and he comes into the bedroom with a robe over his head to see how the dogs would react, like if they would protect me, and he literally scared the poop out of Sully. Like Sully crapped all over the floor while attacking him, mind you. Gypsy ran and Clea and Sully got right in between us. Clea realized it was Daddy right away, but he is so fired because the smell, because it was actually like anal glands that he expressed when he came in and scared us. But And my husband's response was, well, at least I'm helping clean him out. But it was definitely nice to see that Sully would go into total kill mode. Like, you could see he was like, I don't feel good, but I'm gonna kill you, whoever you are. And then once he realized it was Dad, he still couldn't snap out of we have to protect the mother. So hopefully in the next few days he'll be perfectly normal, and maybe I will be too. If I've got any nurse friends or allergist people that watch this channel, if you've ever seen where someone just gets allergies on the right side of their face, let me know, because the doctors can't figure out what's going on with me. I am not ready to take him for WALKs because just the short burst of energies and play that we have done with him today, how quickly he flops back into looking very yeah, that's just not, I don't want to overdo it with him yet, because I'm still worried, because that's what mommies do. So hopefully the rest of today will be a little bit of relaxing, and there will be no more fake intruders coming into my area. But that is it for today's video, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and keep all the prayers, good vibes coming my way. I'll take it all. Anyway, remember to click like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.